quiet evening at home. Finally, I'll get some rest and relax and read my favorite book, Rocks, Fossils, and Gems.
Can I please go and visit old Yoda and take the slave one to him? Please, I want to visit my old grandpa.
Boba, Yoda is not your grandpa. You know who's your grandpa? I don't know. You're a clone. I'll tell you what, Boba. Why don't you get yourself ready to go upstairs and put your pajamas on, and I'll read you a special story.
Yay!
All right. Go put on your pajamas. 1, 2, 3. Boba, you ready for the story? What's going on? Why are you jumping up and down? Do you have a friend over right now on hologram?
I know I have Chewbacca over, but please can you read me and him a story? We really liked the last time you did it. Please!
Boba, okay, fine. We're going to go ahead and we're going to read a story for you. But remember, you're going to have to go to bed right afterwards. That's a deal.
Okay. Yay!
All right, sit down. Settle down. I'll sit down with you. Chewbacca, you settle down too. Okay, we're going to get ready for a new story for this week. All right, kids. Chewbacca, everyone at home, let's get started with this week's story.
Yay!
Let's start now.
On the desolate world of Tatooine, Obi-Wan Kenobi knew there were 2 potential Jedi Knights left. One he knew was Luke Skywalker, son of Anakin. The other, however, Obi-Wan could not pinpoint. It was tremendously frustrating for Kenobi. Long did he search throughout Tatooine, through an assortment of wretched hives of scum and villainy. Through nauseating conclaves of loathing and depravity. Oh dear. And through many other places of equally tortured syntax. There were times when he felt that he was almost on top of him, but he would look around, check the crowds of alien beings all around him, and was unable for all of his powers of the Force to locate him. But little did he suspect that the mysterious Jedi was literally under his nose, for the one he was searching for was Skippy, the Jedi Droid. Skippy the Jedi Droid is an 8-page comic story featured in Star Wars Tales #1, and it's written by Peter David. Now, Skippy was not entirely certain when he became self-aware. Artificial intelligence was nothing new for droids, and of course, but Skippy sensed that he was something more, something different. He tried to convey this to his peers. But all of the other droids used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Skippy join in any droid-type games. One day, however, while Skippy was serving drinks for his angry and vicious master, Jabba the Hutt, a passing bounty hunter banged into him. Skippy knew when that drink hit the ground, the punishment would be severe, even fatal. The moment of the falling drink seemed to extend into infinity, and in that endless moment, Skippy reached out with his mind, with his feelings. and the drink righted itself. Skippy knew that this was impossible, and yet it had happened. It transpired so quickly that no one else had noticed. Skippy quietly served the drinks and went about his duties. At night, while everyone was sleeping, he tried to move something. Nothing major, just a rock. Nothing happened at first, but then Skippy practiced nightly. He had no idea what was happening. He only knew that he possessed some sort of bizarre skill, like the fabled Jedi Knights. For his lubricants were rife with midichlorians, giving him mastery of the Force. And one night, one amazing night, Skippy escaped with his amazing power. He removed his restraining bolt. The two massive guards barred his way, but Skippy simply reached out with the power of the Force and said, "Beep up a beep," which translated means, "I'm not the droid you're looking for." And Skippy rolled to freedom. Freedom to seek his destiny as a Jedi droid. There was, however, a problem, which Skippy now had to face. He was in the middle of a desert. Not surprising, since all of Tatooine is a desert. Jedi or not, droid or not, being in a desert can be an intimidating and daunting prospect. By day he hid in shadows from the twin suns of Tatooine. Although, no matter how hard he tried, he could not hide from the fact that the binary stars have no planets due to their massive gravity wells. But we won't get into that. He hid from the Sand People from Tusken. But poor Skippy began to wear down. He became filthy, encrusted with dirt, sand working into his innards. His power cells were already draining, and slowly he came to realize that, even though he was a droid of destiny, it might be that he didn't have the opportunity to find it. Until one day his destiny found him. Under ordinary circumstances, he would have endeavored to hide from the Jawas, but he knew he had little choice. He wasn't going to be able to last much longer on his own. So Skippy let the Jawas spot him. They cleaned him up as best they could. And Skippy decided that he would stay aboard the transport for a while, knowing he could escape any time. And then one day he met two droids. One was another R2 unit, but this R2 unit seemed obsessed with some sort of mission, a message to be delivered to an Obi-Wan Kenobi. The name struck a chord within Skippy. He sensed that the Force was trying to tell him something, but Skippy was sorely frustrated and was unable to comprehend. Another droid showed up. This one was called C-3PO, and he wouldn't shut up. Yammering made it difficult for Skippy to concentrate on the sense of the future he was beginning to have. There were images swirling in him he could not quite understand. A vision of a man dressed in black and a young woman who, for some reason, had cinnamon rolls in her hair. And armored soldiers, and sometimes they were riding on large lizard-like creatures, but other times they were just sitting on a large replica of one. It was all very confusing. Then one day the Jawa transferred ground to a halt, and they roasted all the droids out into the hot Tatooine surface. Two people approached, moisture farmers. Skippy knew the type. They seemed unassuming, run-of-the-mill, an older man and a young. The young man, there was something about him, something that seemed to call out greatness. Destiny had seen him through, after all, this young man, and he would be an unstoppable team. They could defeat the Empire, return the galaxy to peace, cause the Jedi to rise once more to their glory. The one called Owen was busy having his ear bent by that talky 3PO unit. Skippy nudged a thought into Owen, a thought that said, "I am the droid you're looking for." And that red one. Come on, Red, let's go. And Skippy rolled towards his destiny. Beep, beep up a beep. Give me your zap. And suddenly the future became clear to Skippy as Destiny held its breath. Skippy would try to communicate with the young Jedi, but C-3PO would refuse to translate such rubbish. Uncle Owen would see him start moving things with the Force, and would immediately have Skippy's memories erased. Meantime, the armored men would come for the blue R2 and take him to the Dark Cape Man. The Dark Man would destroy the R2 unit, then he would kill the young woman with the cinnamon rolls in her hair. Eventually, the rebels would be found. A frightening space station would fill the sky above them and blow them out of existence. Obi-Wan Kenobi would sense their minds crying out in fear and terror, and filled with despair, his mighty heart would give out, and he would die, alone and forgotten in his hut. The young Jedi would stay and rot on Tatooine, one excuse after another offered until he was an old moisture farmer, staring at the sky, looking to a destiny he had never followed. All this because the blue R2 unit had not been chosen. If the blue R2 unit went with the young Jedi, a very different and great path lay ahead. One that did not include Skippy, the Jedi droid. Without hesitation, Skippy drove the Force inward like a spike and... Chomp! Uncle Owen, this R2 unit has a bad motivator, look! Oh, the unknowable irony of that statement, for Skippy had had the most magnificent motivation of all, trying to save a galaxy. With his waning strength, Skippy prompted the 3PO unit to say, "Excuse me, sir, but that R2 unit is in prime condition, a real bargain." "Uncle Owen, how about that one?" And Skippy, his circuits failing, saw the future to come, all thanks to his heroic sacrifice. As blackness fell, he watched C-3PO and R2-D2 side by side, as they were meant to be. When the stormtroopers came and destroyed the Jawas, and their cargo, Skippy, still in a coma, was blasted to pieces by a stray stormtrooper's bolt, he died alone, unmourned, until now. Be kind to your droids and major appliances, and next time you're alone and you feel something, a faint beeping in your skull, or the sound of motors whirring, you may be sensing him, one with the Force, now ever present, ever seeking out others of his kind, others who may be in your kitchen or in your desk, or in your briefcase. Wherever machines are taken for granted, wherever sentience may exist, there will be Skippy the Jedi Droid. The end.
That was a great story.
Yes.
I'm glad you liked it, Boba. Good night, my sweet little one. I'll
Good night.
see you in the morning. Now it's time for bed. Good night, Chewbacca.